Alrighty, a little update to commenter. How does this go? So somebody was saying you can't put HBCC on 5 cards. I don't know yet, but I want to test this out. I've only tried it on 4, so I don't want to take his word for it. I'm gonna do it myself. I've already gotten disabled and enabled a few of these cards, the HBCC. So that's 1, 2. Now it's gonna be 3. And these are the RX Vega 64s. I have 5 of them right now on the bottom. I have a total of 6. I had to split up where there was 4 on one rig and then 2 on another rig with 2 Vega RX 6s. So now what I'm doing is I put 5. I put 1 from the other rig down to the bottom one. I have a total of 5. I also have a ability to put another power supply on the same motherboard quite easily because it's the Asus Mining Expert Pro. So what I might do later on is try 6, but right now I'm doing 1 at a time for stability. It cuts into my time every time something goes wrong, so I don't know if 5 will work, but if 5 works, then 6 should work. That's the way I look at it. Alright. So, oh, there is no HBCC. He might be correct. Wow. Okay. I think he is. Oh, that's why. Okay. You gotta watch out for the stupid crossfire. So when I disable this crossfire, it should enable HBCC on the other card. I could have sworn I saw all of them on. But this should verify it. Maybe something like that happened to somebody where they thought it didn't have HBCC on all cards, but I believe it should have them all. Now I haven't read through anything, or I'm just assuming at this point, but I'm finding out myself without having to, look it up anywhere. Alright, well that is another card with the HBCC. I just had to turn off crossfire on the 16X card. The one plugged into the 16X slot is what I meant to say. Oops, I'll leave that on. I might have to go back and disable and enable it to make sure it's working properly, because sometimes you have to do that to glitch the display card to work. Let's see if this works. Alright, so HBCC enabled on all cards. Now I'm going to pause for a second because I have to do the, I forgot to set up the, I'll just do it live. This takes a little while. The overclocking. No, I'm going to pause it. It's going to take a little while. So I'll be back, but I'll still show everything working properly. I just got done setting all these video cards to minus 30 frequency. Roughly, you want to get around gigahertz to 1.1 gigahertz on the core clock. And the memory 1100. I use 1090 because for me 1090 is a little bit more stable. The 10 megahertz matters for stability, so I'm willing to sacrifice 10 to get more stability. Fan usually almost all the way up. Temperature I do 82, 72, and drop it down to about 10% on power. I don't want to drop it too much because every now and then it will demand more, especially the stupid clock hits this area we can't change, which is a 1400 megahertz. We might need a little bit more juice. Anyway, so it's an artifact first for the glitch. So the display card is the one that has the crossfire on, or off, I mean. And so this one's the one I had to change when it causes that crash in a second. Oh, wait a minute. You also got to make sure, don't forget to change your your number of miners, since I'm up to more. I gotta have 10 for my thread, and I have to add 2 more of these lines for the other part. Alrighty, that should do the trick. Take a little while. And mind you, I'm not doing it based on what the GUI says. HBCC is going to be on if I'm getting anywhere from 17 to 1900 hash. That means it's on. You wouldn't get that hash without HBC being on the Vega cards. So it's going to glitch. I'm going to have to close this. Then I'm going to I'm going to disable it for the display card. It's going to be stuck on, but the GUI will show that it's off. And that'll mean that my HBCC memory is on all of them if the hash rate is at between 17 and 1900 hash a second. And then we'll prove or disprove if the you can't do more than 4 cards with HBCC, which I'm skeptical, but I'm trying it to find out. So that's how you do it, right? And I'm waiting for that initial crash. All right, it happened. Not a big deal, as expected. I can have my 5 cards, and later on I'll try it with 6 cards. It's gonna be the same process. I mean, I could do it right now, but I'd rather not. Everything's working fine. Every time I do that, I lose a rig, so I'd rather not. Yeah, I'll do it later though. Okay, so this is a display card with the crossfire option. Disabling HBC on this card. Mine is per the glitch. And then I'm going to verify the overclocks are still set, and also that the HBCC is enabled on the rest of them. HBCC. Cool. And now checking the overclocks. Okay, this one's jacked up. It's hit and miss. Sometimes it won't mess them up. Sometimes it does. It depends how fast you click it. Sometimes. If you close the miner. Yeah, they should be okay. Well, it's messed up, but they're still set to the right place. Alright, let's see what happens. Let's see if we get roughly 2,000-ish per card. I should be looking at around 9,000 hash. Yeah, a little bit higher than 9,000. Like 9.5. Exciting. Dun, dun, dun. So I'm hoping that the power setup is good enough. It should be, but I've always had little issues, little quirks, like if I have one power supply plugged into the CPU versus the other one, it could not like it, and just by switching it, it works. So yeah, look, I'm getting it. Right there, I'm getting 9,814. That means all of them have HBCC on, regardless of what global watt setting. So the guy who said, "Oh, you could only have 4 on a card," no, you know what you're talking about. You're a backseat miner. You don't have these cards. Otherwise, you would do what I did and test it out. And I just did. So now, yeah, you can mine with 5 cards with HBCC enabled. You can have the GUI show all of them on if you don't use one of them as a display card like I am. And if you do, there's a glitch that you can do, which I figured out. You just enable it, let it run, let it mess up, close it, restart the little Walkman, turn it off, it'll still be on. And how do you know? You're getting the higher rate. So yeah, the rate doesn't lie. The rate's there. Blah. So booyah. Yeah, sucker. I'm waiting for it to crash on me now, but it hasn't, so I'm happy. Alright. That's 9,800. And the other bad boys right there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 RX Vegas 64s. 56s are fine. You can put that other what you may call it, the BIOS for the 64 or whatever, and it'll give you the slightly higher hash rate. They're still going to be like 1700 plus, even with 56 without changing the BIOS. So, and it's stable, so I'm happy. We'll see how well it runs in a few hours, and then if that's the case, it's great because now I can put more on one rig, and I still have space on the other rig. So originally I picked a couple RX Vegas 64s from this one, or one of them, and I'm gonna go ahead and toss more on that one. And I have space for maybe one more on this. I mean, I could put a lot more on the motherboard, but that's not the point. I want to have stability, so I just like that motherboard. It tells you what's plugged in. It's just fancy. Unnecessary, but fancy. I like it. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna make sure to add that dude link the video to that guy who told me I couldn't do this. You're wrong, Colonel Sanders. Mama's right.